everybody. It's Ruth Werner again, and I'm so happy to be here to talk about the Alliance for Massage Therapy Education 2017 Educational Congress that's happening this summer in Tucson, Arizona. The pre-conference meeting is on July 26th. The general session is on the 27th through the 29th. And the post-convention meeting will be on July 30th. And we've been very lucky to have some of our generous presenters be willing to give up a few minutes of their time to chat with us about what they're talking about. And it is my very great honor now to introduce my good friend, Whitney Lowe. And here's a little bit of information about Whitney. So Whitney's been a professional Whitney has been a massage professional for almost 30 years. In that time, he's authored over 100 articles, served as a board member and chair with the NCBTMB. He's sat on the editorial advisory board of 2 peer-reviewed journals in our field. Professionals at schools use Lowe's texts, Orthopedic Assessment in Massage Therapy and Orthopedic Massage Theory and Technique. He's a contributing author to several books. His articles appear regularly in professional journals and magazines. I was reading one this morning. And then in 1994, he founded the Academy of Clinical Massage, formerly known as OMERI, to provide massage therapists the advanced education they need for treating orthopedic soft tissue disorders. And with that program, he really pioneered our profession's first fully facilitated online certification program. So Whitney, that's sort of you in a nutshell. What else would you like for our listeners to know about you?
That's quite a handful there. The one thing I would say is in relation to the Alliance meeting, I'm going to be speaking about teaching online, and that came directly out of what you had just talked about here, the facilitated online program that we do. This started back in the late 90s when I was exploring what was involved with online education, which was really in its infancy at that time, and recognized that there was a whole lot more to it than just throwing a bunch of stuff up on the web. So,
you think?
Yeah. Although that's still quite a pattern in many places.
Yeah,
my hope is really to sort of help share some of what the best practices are around that challenging skill set, because it's a completely different skill set for teaching online than it is for teaching in the classroom.
I am nodding emphatically because I am going through this, as we speak. In fact, you know this because you've helped me when I was deciding whether to take this on, the creation of an online course. So, Whitney, what is the title of your presentation? Put you right on the spot there.
I can't remember. Right off the top of my head.
Right,
I don't have it in front of me at the moment. Yeah. So it is the essence of it is about teaching skills for online classroom. I can't remember exactly what the title is.
Teaching skills for the online classroom.
Yeah.
And so, if you were to give me just a thumbnail sketch of what you think teachers who have it in mind ever to teach online should know, could you give me one or two sort of teaser points about that?
Yeah, the thing that I think is most crucial about that is that to some degree, if you're going to do any type of online training, there are 3 key roles that need to be filled. And in a lot of times in the classroom teacher can easily fill those kinds of roles, but there's some additional things that need to happen in the online world. First, you have to be a subject matter expert or have one that you're working with. That means somebody who knows the content and can put it together. Secondly, you need to either be or have on your team somebody who understands instructional design, because that is the really key component of quality online education, is designing the learning activities that will be implemented in the online environment. And the third role is the designer, and this is something that doesn't happen in the classroom very much at all. You don't really have to have that role, but somebody who's involved, either you as the course author or somebody you're working with, has to understand a lot about web technologies, mobile devices. How is your course going to look on the screen? How is it going to interact? What is the user experience going to be like? What's the navigation going to be like? And those are all technical web development processes that need to happen. I mean, some of it is very simple in really simple courses. Some other parts are increasingly complex. And I will say now, especially with the world of mobile devices, all of this is getting more complex because we have to think from a design perspective about mobile devices as we're doing this.
Yeah, obstacle that recently came up for a class that I'm working with was I had created a fillable PDF and it worked on every device except for tablets.
Right.
And I was like, oh, and I have a whole class doing this on tablets. It was,
Yep.
yeah, it was a big thumbs up there. Whitney, can you talk a little bit about quality control? I feel like both you and I have our roots in the live classroom. And when you're there and you're watching people's faces and you know who's engaged and you know who's less engaged, and we don't have that face-to-face interaction in an online setting. So how do you, for your own purposes and for people like me who are learning this medium, how do you suggest we look for being sure that our information is being taken in the way that we would like it to be taken in?
Yeah, that really, once again, gets back to the whole issue of instructional design.
Yeah.
I always tell people it's really easy to create an online course, and it's really hard to create a good online course. And that is usually about instructional design. And so, for example, when you're putting a course together, like you said, in the classroom, you may be, as a presenter or teacher, speaking to the class and talking to them and giving them great information, but you also don't really know how much people are taking that in unless you get to some point later on down the line where they're having to apply that learning, or there is some form of assessment where you can sort of test and evaluate them. So one of the things that I highlight a lot in best practices of online education is there needs to be frequent assessment activities that let a person check where their knowledge is so that the person can see what they're doing. Now, again, in really simplistic online courses, there isn't a person available. It's just a course that sits on its own, and you take the course and you're kind of responsible for going through and doing it. But in a higher level, and in my opinion, higher quality online courses, there is a teacher or a facilitator or instructor who is available that can communicate and interact with the students. And what we do in our online courses, students have a lot of assignments they have to turn in. So I get an opportunity to see the quality of their work and also watch it mature as they go through the program as well. So we do get a sense of really getting to see how that student is getting engaged with the content of what we're doing.
Wonderful. Well, and I see I've already gone over our time limit because I was just so interested to dig into this. I'm really looking forward to being in the front row in your class in Tucson. And thank you so much for taking time out to be with us today. I know you've been traveling and you really made an effort to be available. So thanks so much, Whitney.
Absolutely. Always great to talk with you all both, and I look forward to seeing you there at the conference.
See you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.